Hi guys, Justin Brown here. Have you ever been watching a video on YouTube that has music in the background and you can instantly tell the second that the music misses or skips a beat? If audio isn't done right, it just becomes a distraction. In this video, I'll show you how you can prevent this issue. So the most likely cause of a skipped beat in your music track on your videos is where you've cut the audio and tried to join it together in order to extend it or loop the music to make it fit the length of your video. So there's a number of ways that you can actually fix this problem and prevent it from happening. I'm going to run through a couple of options just in video editing software and not getting into the real technical details inside of audio editing software, but we'll just keep it simple. So I'm going to use ScreenFlow and Premiere and show you how you can loop your music tracks so that they're not noticeable. Okay, so in Adobe Premiere, I've got a basic project open here with some skydiving footage, and I've just dumped in a basic audio track. If you use Alt or Option plus on the keyboard, you'll be able to zoom in on your audio so you can see your audio waveform. And if we just hit play now, you can see on the audio waveform the various elements of the audio. So we've got your intro there. Then we come into this build up section where it's kind of repeating over and over but slowly building before it hits the sort of heavier section of the track. So what we're going to do is leave the start of the track the same, so it's got that slow build, and then we're going to repeat the section just before it gets heavy so that we can play that section twice. So you can see, looking at the waveform of that audio track, where it is about to get to the heavier, louder section of the track. So if we add a cut here on the last beat, and then we'll just shift the rest of this track out of the way. We'll go back to the start and zoom in a little bit. So here's that sort of lead in that I was talking about, and you can see here where this section is going to start. So we find that beat, we add a cut, and then we copy that section, Command or Control C. Now we deselect audio track 1 because we don't want to paste it in over the top of that, and select audio track 2 and hit Control V or Command V to paste. So if we play that back now, you can see that it's pretty close, but there's that jarring mix where we've missed the beat and it's not quite right. So now we're going to come in and just refine that and just keep playing it back until you work out where the beat is. Right, so it's like the cuts happen too early. So what we'll do is extend the clip on the left because I've actually cut that a bit too short. We'll slide the clip on the right just across a bit and fill that in until we get it where the beat lines up and it sounds right. So that sounds pretty good. We'll just zoom out a bit more and play it again. So there we go, we've repeated that section of the audio seamlessly so no one will know. So now over in ScreenFlow, what we're going to do is something slightly different. This clip is the same clip, but I've got a bit of footage here of before jumping out of the plane. Then we've got a quick transition into where the skydiving is actually happening. So what we'll do is we'll use the intro for this track to really sort of set the mood. And then at the point where we're using that transition or that effect to cut to the skydiving is when we want to hit the beat with the more upbeat music. So in Premiere, we cut on the beat. Now here, I'm going to show you how you can do an offbeat cut so that the two will blend together. So you can use this to either, as we're going to here, skip forward to a more upbeat section of the track and blend that in, or you can use this method if you're going to blend across two totally different audio tracks. So we'll just play through the clip now. So as you can see, just by looking at the audio track, you can see that it starts quieter and that it actually builds and gets more upbeat the further you get into the audio track. So what we'll do is we will just trim off a little bit at the start so that we're starting on this beat here. So we'll bring that back somewhere around there, shift the clip forward, we'll just play that. So we're actually starting the audio a little bit later. Just by listening to the audio track here, we can find where it actually hits a beat and then starts on a heavier section or a more upbeat section of the track. So if we add a cut here and slide this down to the track below, Then we can start to blend the two tracks together. So just by continually playing that section back, you can actually work out where you want to hit the beats and to match up your footage or your editing. So we'll slide this back a little bit now so that the beat is hitting at the moment that we're seeing the actual skydiving freefall footage. Now we're just going to right click and add a starting transition to the start of the bottom clip here, and we'll also right click on the clip above it and add an ending transition. So the top one's fading out and the bottom one is fading back in at that point. So now all we do is tweak and refine this until you like how it sounds. So it's just now adjusting how much of that fade or of that transition we want from the fade out, and how early we want to start to fade in the bottom track to be able to hit that beat so it sounds seamless. So we can extend and shorten the transitions and just slightly reposition everything until it sounds the way that you want it. And as I said before, you can use this with two totally different music tracks if you want to blend between the two. If you found this tip helpful, please give us a thumbs up just below the video here. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe. Also, head over to VideoEditingCoach.com if you want to see more videos like this.